with ECW obviously made no money on the merch there because Paul was in charge, but with WWE especially, what did you make the best money with? Was it any other merch? I don't know if Right Censor had any merchandise, but like the figures or the game likeness royalties, where were the best royalty checks coming from?
Yeah, but the video game back when it was more so like you really were fortunate because there was limited spots to get paid the royalties on the video games, and this was before they would sneak people in for free on the DLC, but you wouldn't get royalties on DLC and stuff. So when I was in the games, it was a big deal. The action figures were also a big deal back then, and I actually got friendly with this guy Pete who worked for Jack Specific. Totally cool guy, great guy. We talked a lot about games and sports and everything but wrestling. And as you can imagine, somebody who's not part of the locker room, part of whatever, some of the guys weren't very nice to him or they just didn't know who he was. Where my attitude was, I don't know who this guy is, but I'm going to be even nicer to him because I just don't know who he is. And I'm just going to make sure you just never know who you're talking to. So we became friends. And the funniest thing would be, you look at, I had like 8 action figures. And this is during the Stevie Night Heat or I'm Not Getting Used, not during Right to Censor or BWO. This is like when I wasn't getting pushed. But Pete, every time I would have a new outfit, actually, when we first met, he goes, how many outfits do you have? I go, well, not many. He goes, get some new outfits made, take some pictures of all 4 sides of them and everything, as long as they're kind of the same setup or whatever. Email me some high-res photos and don't say anything else. So he was, because I was kind to him, or at least I was friendly to him and didn't treat him like he was a nobody, which nobody's a nobody. Everybody's somebody. He ended up doing that for me. And I always thanked him. And if I see him today, I thank him because he did me a big favor to go to bat for me to get that done.
With that being said, what's your favourite bit of merch and what's your least favourite bit of merch featuring you?
Well, my favorite bit of merch in general that we didn't have growing up as kids is those like crazy replica belts that are real belts. We didn't have those as kids. We had the little like foam and kind of plasticky belts. Probably my action figures for me personally, the action figures in the video games are, in my mind, at least, a way that I'm going to be immortalized. And
Yeah.
if someone picks up an action figure or plays that game, that's how you live in perpetuity, in my opinion. The moments I made or the moments I was a part of are great, but to actually have a company make a mold, spend the tens of thousands of dollars to make a mold of you, invest in that, and then put it out there and distribute it, it's a big deal. So it's an honor.